So interesting story that I thought we need to explore. I would not have thought this would be the case, but the auto market in this country, given what's going on now with tariffs, and remember the auto sector rather is still being tariffed. It's not one of the ones where we don't have retaliatory tariffs. What it's done is kind of reverse the trend in the car market overall. So new cars, if you can believe it, a little less expensive this year than last, but used cars, if you plan on buying one now, could cost you thousands more than it did only a year ago. Baris Akyurek is Vice President of Insights and Intelligence at AutoTrader.ca, and he is on the line. Thank you for being here this afternoon. Let me begin by asking that question. If I got the data right here, last year, right, used car prices were down. Why are they up now? What's the thinking here?
There's quite a bit of uptick in demand because of the tariffs. Because if you think about what happened during COVID, especially in the beginning of COVID, as we all know, prices have gone up by quite a bit. And to be more specific, in 2021 alone, used car prices went up by 21.7%. So this is fresh in consumers' memories. And, when there's a big change like tariffs, like COVID, like a pandemic, the market responds accordingly. So consumers wanted to accelerate their purchases and buy the cars that they were interested in a bit faster than normally they would, and that's why we are seeing an uptick in used car prices.
So my question would be, if you talk about the pandemic, I get that, I understand that, but the pandemic's in our rearview window, right? I mean, that kind of rush to buy a used car, I guess, is now over. Is part of the problem here the fact that with the tariffs and Trump and everything else, that people thought they wouldn't be able to afford a new car, wouldn't be able to get a new car, like we weren't going to get them because of this?
So when you think about, as you said, yes, it's been 5 years since the beginning of COVID. But on the other hand, the impact of COVID still lingers. And what do I mean by that? So between 2020 and 2023, we estimated that 1.5 million fewer new vehicles were sold.
Oh.
So obviously, these cars are not coming back to the used car market. So when you think about the inventory availability, used car inventory is constrained as it is. And now with the increase in demand, the used car market is a bit squeezed.
Which kind of seems to me like, that being the case, you're better off maybe considering a new car. Do you have dealers sitting with inventory? Because, is that the deal now? Because that's why prices are going down?
Yeah, so in the beginning we look at this metric called day supply, and it shows, given the current pace of sale, how many days would it take to sell your entire lot. And 60 days is considered to be a healthy rate. In the beginning of the year, we were sitting at 87 days.
Oh.
There was a lot of availability. And, thanks to that, we didn't see a big impact on new car prices. But that said, I'm talking about average prices. So if you look at prices at the make level and make and model level, there are some fluctuations because some cars are impacted more than the others. Some cars can make their way to Canada with no problems. Some cannot. So there are nuances, but at the high level, at the aggregate level, new car prices are down thanks to the inventory availability that we had in the beginning of the year.
Which sounds like, for someone out there shopping for a car, maybe you are better off considering a new car, given the fact that, you could probably get a deal done now. Prices, you say, have come down about 3.5%. Maybe it makes more sense than buying a used car. What's the average used car price from what you've seen?
Yeah, so I'm going to give you the July prices. In Quebec, it's $35,512, which is a 7.2% year-over-year increase. Mm. And when I'm looking at, again, in Quebec, new car prices are down by 5% and just below $62,000.
Still a lot more. So almost, not quite double, but yeah, one is down, one is up.
Right.
I would ask one other thing, and I'm not sure if you have the answer to this, because my understanding is with the U.S. tariffs on Europe, for example, right? So if you're buying a luxury car, a Mercedes, a BMW, that kind of a thing, those tariffs are now applied to those cars when they come into the U.S. But when they come into Canada, they're not coming direct from Germany, right? They're still going through the U.S. Would you be paying more for those cars based on this tariff now?
I think it all depends. Different OEMs, those who have factories in the U.S. versus those who have factories in Canada. I don't think there's a blanket response, but if they're coming directly from the U.S., if they were manufactured in the U.S., obviously they're impacted by tariffs because we have applied the so-called retaliatory tariffs on these vehicles. So again, it all depends on the make and model.
Okay, but I'm asking specifically about high-end cars, like specifically Mercedes, BMW, Porsche, all that kind of stuff, which are not manufactured in the U.S., are they? They're all coming from Europe.
No, not really.
They're not?
BMW has factories in South Carolina, I believe. But as you said, Mercedes and Porsche, they don't. So if they're directly coming from Europe, there's no impact.
Okay, if they're coming from Europe into Canada, there's no impact? Those tariffs don't apply?
Correct.
Okay, again, I thought the idea was if you're buying that car from Germany, even if you're in Canada as a dealer, it's still coming through the U.S., but you're saying, no, it doesn't? It could come direct from Germany to here.
So if the final destination is Canada, if they're stopping in the United States and they're transitioning from U.S. to Canada, there's no tariffs applied.
So that's, I guess, good news, because otherwise Americans are going to be paying a lot more for those cars, right?
Exactly.
Okay. What's the tip here? Someone is in the market, wants to buy a car. As you said, the discrepancy is still pretty big. It's about almost $30,000 between new and used. If you are looking for a used car, Baris, what's the best approach here?
Research. Just know the market, know what you're looking for, make, model. Be super clear, know your budget, and if you have the financial means, just buy the vehicle that you find interesting. Because as I said, the market is hot, and if you come back, that particular vehicle might not be there. So do your research, know your budget, and if you find the car, buy it right away.
Last thing I want to ask, and this is kind of throwing a bit of a wrench into the works. Amazon, believe it or not, I read this the other day, is now got an Amazon Autos division. You would actually soon be able, I don't know if this is in Canada, be able to buy a car directly from Amazon online?
In the U.S., they started a pilot program in certain cities. They don't have any plans to come to Canada yet. It's just a speculation at this point. So, they've started the program. That's what it is.
Wow. Imagine that going online, just buying a car right off Amazon like you'd buy toilet paper. I would ask one other thing, and I don't know what it is in Canada if we have it. I think we do. Like Carvana, which is a big U.S. Used car dealer, right? Where you can buy cars. What do we have in Canada like that?
We do have a company that does what you just described. They've been around for a couple of years, but that's all I can say.
Okay. And now you're at AutoTrader, and I'm wondering, you've seen your own business increase, or are you seeing pretty much consistency across the board?
Well, we just we match consumers with dealerships and private sellers. So the market, when we look at the market, the sales are up considerably compared to the pre-tariff period and compared to last year, both for new and used vehicles. Things have been pretty hot, especially since March. There's a little bit, so March and April, they were pretty strong on a year-over-year basis. So there's a slight decline, but again, compared to the pre-tariff period, things are looking pretty good.
Do you? I mean, I've been on AutoTrader's site. I know the site. Is it mainly dealers, or do you have individuals selling there as well?
Correct.
No, I mean, which one? Do you have? I know you have both, but is there one more than the other? Is it mainly dealers or mainly personal? I mean, individuals?
We are mainly dealers, but we have private sellers. We have new vehicles, used vehicles. If you're looking for a car, AutoTrader.ca is the place to go.
I gave you a plug. Okay. Baris, thank you for the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Take care. There you go. That's the deal. So, used cars more expensive now. New cars down about 3.5%. Seems to me you have a lot more bargaining power trying to buy a new car, at least now, than buying a used one. Interesting.